Hi y'all. I wanted to do a quick video about a question that I get a lot. I get it a lot here on YouTube, and I also get it more commonly in my real life. Especially like at work and things like that, people who aren't familiar with natural childbirth, much less birthing at home. But this is not really about birthing at home at all. The question is, how do you do it? How in the world do you do it? Have you ever felt it's mostly from people who have had babies, but also people who have never had babies. And, especially because a lot of them know that I did have an epidural with my first one. And then I went on to have the home birth with Paisley. And the most common question is, how in the world do you do it? And after how in the world do I do it, it's why in the world do you do it? But I'm going to be talking most about, like, how. Because, why doesn't really matter. It's up to every woman to decide how she wants to give birth. It's her birth. It's up to her to decide. And I respect that decision in everybody. For me, how I prepare for natural childbirth. First of all, I just try to wrap my mind around it. When I was pregnant with my son, I had no desire whatsoever to encounter any of the pain that people talk about. None whatsoever. I had no desire for any of that. When I don't know what happened. When I had my daughter, I did want to. Sorry, I'm like all hanging out here everywhere. When I did decide to do it with my daughter, I really just tried to read everything I could get my hands on. And the more I read, the more I felt comfortable with knowing that it's not really, it's not something so uncommon that we can't do it. Given the right circumstances, the right support, the right knowledge, it all makes it more attainable. You can definitely do it if you've got the right mindset about it. So I turned to a bunch of books, and I found a really good website online when I was looking for these books, because I have most of them, but being at work, I was trying to rack my brain, trying to think of everything I've read. So anyway, I just Googled it real fast and came across this really awesome website, and I'll put the link below. It's called GivingBirthNaturally.com. The books are listed, and I'll tell you which ones I've read and which ones I love. The Thinking Woman's Guide to a Better Birth by Henci Goer. I read this, and I loved it. It's just a lot of great information, things you don't think about, things that's like, oh, I can do this, or this is why this happens, or, oh, gravity does help, and being on your back doesn't really help. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth by Ina May Gaskin, and she is amazing. Yes, she's like a far-out psychedelic hippie person, which is kind of hard to wrap your head around when you read the books, but her information is so awesome. I love this woman. Childbirth Without Fear. I have not read this book, but now that I see it on this list, I want it. Natural Childbirth the Bradley Way. This book has a lot of great nutritional information, positional information, like great positions just to keep in your everyday life so that it doesn't create hard positions to birth a baby in, like how to prevent posterior positioning and how to prevent, breech positioning. Not necessarily prevent, but just kind of help your body cradle the baby in a better way, if that makes any sense at all. The Pregnancy Book by William and Martha Sears. I love all their books. They are so research-based and informative, and a lot of experience-based too, which is also sometimes good to read because you want to hear about people who have real-life experiences with things like this. So I've read that one, and I really like it too. Spiritual Midwifery by Ina May Gaskin. This one is really good too. I'm mostly like this is more like of a midwife teaching book, but it's still really good. It's got a lot of psychedelic birthing and buses and things like that, but to me, when you've read every birth story you can get your hands on, any birth story is a good birth story to read when you're looking for natural birth stories. So I just got into it and read it. I really liked it. Birthing from Within. This really is good. It kind of helps you connect your real emotions to the way you feel about your birth, and kind of gets you thinking about it in a different way. And that's a really good one too. I'm actually currently reading that one again. Obstetric Myths versus Research Realities, also by Henci Goer. I have not read this one. The description of this book says, this book is a heavier read for those left brain number crunchers. And I know I have a few friends like that, so they might appreciate this book. If you're looking for a detailed analytical approach to pregnancy and childbirth, then this is the book for you. So that's a good one they suggest. The Birth Book by William and Martha Sears. Also, I love that one. Let's see. Oh, and the last one on their list is Natural Childbirth After Cesarean. And a lot of people in my real life don't know that you can even have a vaginal birth after you've had a cesarean, or their vaginal birth was so traumatic, or their attempt to have a vaginal birth was so traumatic that once they've had the C-section, they have no desire whatsoever to even try again ever. And that's totally their choice. I totally respect that. I'm the type of person that I'll answer questions about whatever you want to know that I've done or that I do or believe in, but I don't like judge you if you don't want to. I don't even so much as offer my opinion a lot of the times, because I just kind of feel like if I'm not asked, then I don't need to. I don't like when people push their opinions on me. So presenting research is one thing, but saying you should do it this way or how come you didn't do it that way is not really my style. So anyway, that's really how that's how I do it. I really just wrap my head around it, get it in my head that you know, I'm going to have a natural childbirth and that's the way it's going to be. And yeah, that's just, you just have to get mentally prepared. It's kind of like breastfeeding. You just have to get mentally prepared to breastfeed. I mean, it's like planning to do anything. To take a vacation, you got to plan. You plan your events. You plan your packing. You take your vacation. The more prepared you are, the easier time you're going to have, in my experience. That's just how I think about it. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later. If you have any questions, you can ask and leave them below. Bye.